today, and also welcome you to the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. I'm glad you decided to hang out with us for your morning. And let's see. Now, I am from Laverne, Tennessee. I'm Davey. I'll be your cruise captain. Laverne is a suburb of Nashville, but everybody here is from Nashville, right? Not quite? Canada? Oh. Anywhere else? Okay, Dolly, Knoxville? Or Pigeonport? Or, yeah. Up there? West Virginia? I used to live there for a while. Where? Tuscaloosa. That's a fun name. Well, currently we're sitting in 2 feet of water. This is the Delta River. It's a quarter-mile long and only contains 450,000 gallons of water. But a very special fact about this river, other than the fact that it's inside a hotel, is that in 1996, when we first constructed this atrium, we sent out 3,000 2-ounce Jack Daniels bottles all across the world, emptied, and asked people to fill them up with their local waterways and send them back to us. Now, could you imagine the disappointment in receiving an empty sample bottle? Well, despite the disappointment, we managed to get 1,700 back out of the 3,000, and this makes up 30 countries in all 50 states. They then dump the water here in the river, and so I like to say you may have traveled a long way to get here, but you might find you're not too far away from home. There's the Gaylord Opryland Resort Convention Center. A list of the waterways and more information about it is on these black plaques along the walkway to the boat dock to my right. Yes, we have fish in the water. Maybe you can see this school of catfish going by me here. And I think I saw, oh, there he is right there. So our 3 main types of fish are catfish, carp, and bluegill. But we also have 2 Japanese koi fish named Romeo and Juliet. They're the only 2 in the whole river. And that yellow one there is Romeo. I don't know if y'all can see him. Yeah. And I think that they're together this morning. See, Romeo and Juliet, sometimes they'll swim right side by side and do like almost a yin-yang. And then other times they'll be on opposite ends of the river. So, you know, you never know where they might be. In couple. Also, up in front of us, I might mention, I'm sure you can help notice our 48-foot tall Christmas tree, especially at night. You'll really notice it. But now it's 48 feet tall. Can you guess how many lights are on that bad boy? 5,000? 48,000. Yeah, so about 1,000 lights a foot. No big deal. Yeah. Let's see, and that's just a few compared to the over 2 million you'll see here during the Christmas season. I also might point out that up in front of us, on the second level up there, is what used to be the largest ballroom in the state of Tennessee. That's the Delta Ballroom. It can seat 4,000 banquet style or 7,000 theater style. But what's really interesting, I think, about that ballroom is that on the ceiling it's painted like a daytime sky, but it also has special lights so that with the flip of a switch you can simulate a nighttime sky as well. They just recently built a new convention center in downtown Nashville about a year or 2 ago that has a ballroom that's a little bit bigger, but you won't get those lights like that. Okay. Actually, I don't know for sure if it is bigger. Anyways, I'll have to do some more research. Anyway, to your left is a brick wall. And I know that white brick wall is not very interesting, but that is actually the original exterior to the hotel that was built here back in 1977. If I did my math right, I think that's 37 years ago now. And it had 600 guest rooms and 1 ballroom and accommodated guests going to the Opryland theme park. And as you can tell, a little bit has changed since then, considering the outside is now on the inside and we're floating in what used to be the parking lot tennis courts. Back in 1983, we opened up our first atrium, the Garden and Conservatory, along with the Presidential Ballroom. So this is around the time Gaylord purchased the property. Then in 1988, we opened up the Cascades where you register along with the Governor's Ballrooms. And in 1996, we opened up the largest of the 3, this Delta Atrium, and the largest of all the Gaylord property atriums, I might add, along with the Delta Ballroom. And so we kept adding and expanding. The park closed in 97, and to date, we have 2,882 guest rooms, 5 presidential suites, and over 600,000 square feet of convention space, which, believe it or not, makes us the largest hotel and convention center under one roof in the entire world without a casino. We have some papaya trees here. And I know that they're papaya trees because up in the top of the tree are some papayas growing up there. Yeah, all of our trees and plants here are 100% real, no phonies, except for the large Christmas tree, of course. And I really like to call this section Grandma's house because my grandma lives in a retirement center in Florida that's owned by Tropicana. So there's lots of citrus trees there, and that's exactly what we have here. If you look to the starboard side of the boat, or right here, you'll see some grapefruit hanging off the tree with the candy cane. That other tree, those are not grapefruits, those are actually lemons. Some of the biggest lemons. I mean, that one right there is completely round. I don't even know how they get so big. And we have some limes there. Also, speaking of Florida, this bushy tree over here by where all these people are eating, that's what they call a Florida tabletop like all of these. Oh, there's Juliet. She's right there. Oh, there they are. They're together. Okay. Anyways, it's a bushy tree. It gets its name for its leaves. It doesn't produce olives. But what I heard was that those Florida tabletop like olive trees are very difficult to grow indoors because they need a lot of humidity. So you probably won't find that too many places inside. Although, don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert. And then behind me also, if you're wondering, that little tiny tree is the reindeer. That's our bonsai tree, and you can see that if you're walking around. That has been bonsai now for 114 years. It's a willow oak tree. Looks like it's got shrunk down with a big grade. We have a horticulture team of 20 gardeners. 8 of them are designated just to this atrium, and I'd say they do a pretty good job. How about y'all? Then I'll have you look up next at our glass pane ceiling. Our atrium ceiling consists of 6,200 glass panes. Each pane of glass weighs 250 pounds, a little bit more than I do, and is a half-inch thick. And I heard that they were quite a pain to install. Almost as painful as that joke. But actually, all 6,200 I heard were installed like helicopter, which I just think would be extremely difficult, time-consuming, and to do. Maintenance can walk on the glass if they need to. They can withstand 120-mile-per-hour winds and go full-size hail, and I've asked around. I haven't heard of a single pane breaking or even being replaced, despite the flooding and tornadoes we've had here. So I'd say they do a good job with the ceiling. Also, I might point out here, the red carpet is where you would get your photos taken with Santa. I think he's eating right now, and he'll probably be eating all day. But I don't know if that will be open or not today. Also, up above that, up above our heads, that's the highest point in the hotel. It's 15 stories high. And I actually read on Google, this wasn't a Gaylord thing, that you could fit the Statue of Liberty right there in the center of that, of course without its base. Also up above that centerpiece there is the American flag that we fly, speaking of liberty. And you can see that from the outside very well. Up in front of us, there's a bridge, and behind that is a beach building with 2 staircases. That is the Old Hickory Steakhouse, and it is our marquee restaurant. You can find it in all 3 of our sister resorts. That beach building there is designed after the Evergreen Mansion, a historical mansion located just outside New Orleans, Louisiana, in Wells at the Evergreen Plantation. If you've ever been down there, it's a very beautiful plantation. And a little fun fact I like to mention about the mansion is that they built it with the 2 staircases like that because they wanted 1 staircase for the men and 1 staircase for the women. Because back in the day, it was improper to see a woman's ankles. Well, a lot has changed since then, but fun facts to remember is that the Old Hickory opens at 5. Reservations are not required, but I'd recommend them, and it is casual dress. However, ladies, I might recommend some ankle socks or probably different. Next is our waterfall section. We have 3 large waterfalls here in the Delta Atrium. Can you guess which one's the largest in the hotel? Well, if you guess this one, I sort of tricked you. The largest isn't in this atrium, but it's in the Cascades atrium, and it makes a wonderful backdrop for our barn lounge that falls in there by the main lobby. You can either go inside of it or behind it to go to our indoor swimming pool or lounge or spa. There's also 2 more waterfalls in the Garden Conservatory where you can find Ravella's, an excellent fine dining Italian restaurant, or Celerio, or Mexican restaurant where you can get some good handmade guacamole. Yum, yum. I forgot to mention we have an alligator. Uh-oh. There he is. His name is Stoney, the American alligator. And guess how we know he's an American? Because we put them over and it said made in the USA on the bottom. And then Also, behind me is an evergreen tree, and behind that are some bay windows. Kind of looks like the White House back there. But that is our only two-story or bi-level presidential suite. And it's got a chandelier in there, a bantan, all sorts of cool stuff. And ironically enough, a few U.S. presidents have stayed in our two-story presidential suite, along with such music stars like Dolly Parton. And of course, y'all could stay there too for just a small fee of a little over $3,000 a night. How about that? Up above our heads right now is a banyan tree. In some cultures in India, they're known for making wishes. Maybe you'd like to wish for $3,000. Or for Dave to stop telling bad jokes. But these trees here can go to be very large. There's some in Florida and Hawaii that are an acre large, and some in Calcutta, India, that are 4 acres large, which is the size of this atrium. So that cover the whole atrium here. And let's see. Oh yeah. You know, they're known for making wishes. I'd like to wish you all a happy holiday season, and of course, again, excellent Thanksgiving. That's my favorite holiday. Up in front of us is a brick building. That is the D6 elevator. We're on ground zero, but you can take it to the first floor, walk across the bridge there, and come over here to my left to the Delta Island, where you can eat at places like Pizzana's here on the landing to get an excellent size of pizza, or calzone. There's also the Opry Shop here. It's an excellent place to find souvenirs. There's a toy shop, a jewelry shop, home decor shop, stacks where you can build your own burger. And well, not my favorite, but there's Delta Delight's frozen yogurt up there. And if you show them your receipt for this boat ride, you can get a discount on your frozen yogurt up there. So lots to do on the Delta Island. I'd highly recommend checking it out. You can smell that pizza. And I'm sure you all are wondering what boat we've been traveling in by now. And if not, I'll tell you anyways. This is a Mark Twain Mississippi riverboat, or flatboat. At least that's what it's designed after. The original boats are made out of wood, not fiberglass, required oars. And as you can tell, I forgot my oars. Whoops. And that's because they're powered by 16 car-sized batteries there in the center, and a propeller here in the back. Y'all want to see me go full power? Test this baby out? Maybe? Okay, here we go. Anybody want to go water skiing? Yeah, you might see. Also back in there is our boathouse. That's where we keep all 5 of our boats. It is 5 feet deep in there as opposed to 2 feet out here. And you may have noticed me on the walkie-talkie. That's because I was negotiating with someone how to get the boat out of there. But let's see. Oh yeah, how the boats work out here is you can see a trench or a track is dug out from the boathouse. I did mention I have full steering capabilities. So once I get out here, I drive it in that track, and underneath these barrels here, underneath the boat, are wheels that are turned sideways like a fan. And so we just bump and roll along that trench or track, and that's how I give my tours without crashing. That's a good thing, right? So we're literally rolling down the river. Yeah. And also, if you like boats, you should try the 300-foot-long showboat paddle boat, the General Jackson, located just outside the hotel. Even my prom was held aboard that boat. It's very large, and let's see, excellent Christmas cruises, really good food. I wish I could tell you if I remembered who is on them, but and then there's also the 4th of July cruise, which is what I've always wanted to do. It takes you right underneath the Nashville Titans Stadium for the Nashville fireworks show, and it's just fireworks right above your head there. I mean, it's so awesome. At least for me, I like big booms and that sort of thing. So, however, you might want to get your tickets now for that. Then the last thing I'll mention, you may have seen these grates all the way around the atrium, or these vents, and that is our AC system, and it keeps us between a cool 68 to 72 degrees year-round, depending on what the plant life needs. This concludes the tour. Y'all have any questions or comments? How many boats? 5.